Hey yo, peace and blessings, blessings and peace. Welcome back to a whole new week of Just a Thought, man. I am your host, Jormel Reese, and as always, it's always a pleasure for you guys to be able to be here with me. Or my bad, it's a pleasure for me to be here with you. Sorry about that, but anyway, um, we are back with another week, and as always, just this month we're talking about purpose, and so purpose is something that we all try to strive for, something that we all going towards, and so this week I got a really cool guest. He's going to come in and he's going to talk about his business. He's going to talk about purpose. When I tell you this, guys, he's an author. He's got books. He's actually has a company that that distributes authors to be able to have their own books. I'm going to let him introduce himself. As a matter of fact, I'm going to bring in his video before I bring him in. We're going to do the intro and we'll be right back. And I'll bring in our guest today. All right. Peace and blessings, blessings and peace. It's the boy Jormel Reese, and I want to share my experiences with you. If I had to put my life in one word, I would have to say ridiculous, man. From growing up in one of the worst neighborhoods in St. Louis, Missouri, launching a successful music career, recording with some of the top names in the industry, and launching my own clothing line, traveling the world, discovering the power behind yoga and meditation, and how it can heal the mind as well as the body. So tune in to my show, Just a Thought. Follow the story, like the page, subscribe. Let's write the rest of the story that you've always dreamed of. Peace and blessings, blessings and peace. It's the boy Jormel Reese. See you soon.
Are you a bookworm, always on the lookout for a good book? Look no further. Introducing BlackStone Publishing, your gateway to a world of amazing books. At BlackStone Publishing, we are passionate about bringing you the best books for your curiosity. Our team of talented authors and editors work tirelessly to create a collection that will leave you motivated and inspired. Whether you're into seeking wisdom, heartwarming romance, or thought-provoking poetry, we have something for everyone. So, where can you find these hidden diamonds? Visit our website at bspbooks.com, your one-stop destination for browsing and purchasing our latest releases.
Yo. And with that being said, man, I'm getting ready to bring on our special guest for the day. Matter of fact, I'm going to let him introduce himself, man. This is a brother of mine. I am so glad to be able to have this brother on the show. What's going on with you, bro?
All right, peace. How you doing, Jamel? How's everything, man?
Man, everything is good, man. Why don't you tell the people who you are, your name, and everything like that? I was gonna announce you, but man, I'm you know, one of them things is like, I really like people being able to announce who they are and what it is that they stand for, especially a brother like you, because I don't know how many words I could be able to describe you. You know what I mean? Like, I think that you running a great business, of course, and then just also everything that you're doing. So why don't you go ahead and let the people know who you are, what you do, and just a little bit of, why we here.
All right, for sure. So my name is Karajah Yashar. I'm the CEO of BlackStone Publishing. So that's a company I started in 2000. I originally started in 2015. That's when I published my first book. I say that was the conception. The birth was 2016 when I made the first sale. So 2016, 7 years strong. I'm also an ambassador with the Israelite Nation. That was one of the motivating factors that got me into publishing. Some of the early works that I published were like the Israelite Nation official Bibles. Mm-hmm. So I'm here. I help authors, up and coming authors, to put their works out. We have programs that we're actually starting now where we have author coaching and helping authors put out their works. Because One thing about books,
Okay, hold on, before you go out there, man. Before you go off into all that, so tell us a little bit about that. You know what I'm saying? Like you just to dive straight into it. This brother is like me and him was talking on the phone. He's like, yo, I'm becoming like the master P of putting out art.
So the Master P or the Puffy of publishing, all that.
The puffier publishing. That's what it is. The puffier publishing, baby.
That's it. That's it. Because what we do, we have different styles. Like, you have the traditional publishing companies. And what we do with BlackStone Publishing is more, how our people, we take things and we remix them.
Yeah.
So we take a lot of classic literature, classic works, books from 100, 200, 300 years ago. And a lot of times we take these up and coming authors and we mix them. So we have it could be a poet from 100 years ago, or it could be a Marcus Garvey or Harriet Tubman. They have works out, they have books out. Nat Turner, they all have books. So we take modern authors and we remix them in with the ancient, with the classic literature. And, so we're doing something different that I don't see any other publishing companies do. So that's why I say I'm the puffy of publishing, making these remixes happen.
Hey, you definitely doing that, man. And I was like blown away by that, because I think it's a lot of authors out here, especially us as Black people. We are very creative. We like to write. We like to make music. We like to do all these different things. But it's nobody out here. It's hard for people to be able to publish their work. And they don't even have an idea of where to be able to start. So let me ask you this. Do you guys walk people through the first parts of how to start being able to have a book? And, what's the process with that?
Right. So, yeah. So we do author coaching. We actually have 5-week coaching workshop where they'll work with our coaches, learning about, we'll mentor them and strategize both time efficiency, how to put time in, because that's a big factor. Life be life. And so, helping people schedule time to set aside to do their writing. We help them with editing, with formatting, cover creation, formatting ideas, overcoming writer's block, and really just helping push them to the finish line, because that's the biggest thing. And then once they get to that finish line, helping them with the marketing and pushing it out there, because they want to get that work out there.
Is this an online course, or is it in person? Or how is it?
So we're located in Orlando, Florida. So people are welcome to come. People are from this Florida area. We do they could come to the headquarters and, meet us in person. People that are outside of Orlando, outside of Florida, they can do it through calls. We do check-in calls and emails, text messages. So we could stay in communication for those full 5 weeks and, get these works out. One thing about a book is a book will immortalize you. So long after we're gone, our book can still be here, passed on to our children, grandchildren, other people. We got books by, as I said, it could be a Harriet Tubman. We know her works, but she's actually have works out that we could open up and read. All these great ancient masters have books out. I love to spend time with the ancient masters. I read their books, and that's, I'm right there with them, communing with them.
Ain't that and that's so true. What you're saying is like, it makes us immortal. That's why, I remember I used to talk to this girl a long time ago, right? Probably about 15 years ago or something. She was like, Dramel, or maybe 10 years ago, whatever. It was like when YouTube or whatever and videos came out. She was like, Dramel, she was like, you are immortal. She was like, you are going to live forever. You've done something that somebody's never done. You've taken your creative property and placed it in a place where you could be immortal your whole life. And that's important, because I think that's what the principles of the Most High, being able to be here to be creative, so we could be able to tell the stories of the past and the ancient past. And so, even with that, you're immortal with this book here. You know what I'm saying? And let's talk about this one. So this is the one that we talked about in 2016, that the first sales and stuff like that. Is this what you were talking about?
That came in more than about 2018, 2019. So that's a mind, body, spirit, self-defense. So what we're looking to do with that, a lot of people talk about self-defense, but really we need to know how to protect ourselves emotionally, spiritually. And so with that Ninja Ka work, we do have physical training that we do, but it's also about the mind, and that's what I love your program, Just a Thought, because you talk a lot about the mind. The mind is the power. And so that's what the Ninja Ka is about. It's about focusing the mind, learning how to get the best. We use the acronym FITNESS. So it's fortitude, integrity, tactics, nutrition, exercise, stability, and stamina. So we're taking all these and applying them to ourselves to become the best version of ourselves that we can. So
That's what. Yeah, I was like, and that's the thing about it. Like when I was reading the book, I was like gone off of that. You know what I'm saying? It was definitely, like you said, it's about the mind. At the end of the day, we can talk about money, we can talk about business, we can talk about whatever else it is, but it's all about where our mind is, because as a man thinketh, so is he, right? And so,
Right.
when I was going through your book, I was just like, I was really gone off of it. I stayed in tune with it. I was like, dang, these are all trainings of. They're different type of trainings that you never think equate to one. And I think it's like how you have that thing where it's like, no matter what you take, it's always a truth to it, right? You know how you could take some system and you apply it to everything in life and it works all the way across the board. Right. And that's what I found when I was reading your book. It was like it worked all the way across the board, whether you're doing basketball, football, baseball, hockey, you're a spiritual leader, you're a business coach, you're this, you can relate to that book.
Right. Yeah. And that was the idea. So, I'm glad that you were able to pick that out, and because that's the idea, because it could be utilized because we have people that are so diverse in what they do. What we're going to be talking about, purpose. We all have various purpose. So, that is to touch on all that and bring out the best in us, because that's the key. I take that as an important thing. Some people are kind of like content being average, but I feel like we need to excel and get the best out of ourselves. That's what the Most High put us here for, to give us gifts to bring out the best in ourselves. So we should never really settle.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about that, like you say, just bringing the best out of ourselves. I think, I know for me it was hard at first, when just through life, growing up in the environment that I grew up in. I was seeing so much stuff. I was seeing things, and I didn't know what my purpose was. I had no clue. About even being able to just anything, but I always felt different. I'll say this, I always felt different, and I always wanted to try to find a way out. Where is this person that you have became, and where do you come from, and where does this come from?
Okay. Well, I felt like I did have a rebirth experience. It was when I was around 22. Before that, I was, I would say I was more of a mental person, but after my rebirth, I became more in tune with the spirit world, with the Most High, and understanding and the prophets, reading. That's the first time I really picked up a Bible, and so because I was kind of, before that, I was more actually hating on the Bible. I heard this is the white man's book, and they gave it. So I really didn't pick it up before that. But when I had this rebirth, I had just moved from New Jersey to Fort Lauderdale, and I spent a year down there just partying, hanging out. And then after, I started feeling called out, feeling like, things were changing inside of me. And so at that point, I used to spend a lot of time meditating on the beach. I had a little triangle. So I worked at a health food store. So I'd go to the health food store, work in the juice bar, go across the street to the bookstore, and then ride my bike to the beach. So I had my little triangle. So it's like that between the books, between the meditating at the beach, and between the people I was meeting at the health food store, the juice bar. I was just becoming a new person, a new man.
Where did that come from, though? Like, where did that come from?
It had to come from God, because it comes from God, because like I wasn't calling for it. I went to Florida looking to just party. I was going to enter college. I was getting my Florida residency. My plan was just to party, hang out, then enter into college, buckle down, be a student. But like, I wasn't even that interested in what they were teaching. I was just like, my mind was getting blown. I was just so, it's the Most High just calling people out. And so now it's like, now we got to hear and sow seeds, and, shows like this where we have platforms where we can reach other people and bring people in, because, bringing people into the light, a lot of people are in dark places. Life is lifing, stress, all this kind of anxiety. So helping people and giving people the knowledge and understanding of how to pull out of dark places and become the best they can. That's an important thing that I see you're doing and what you're doing, and that's what I'm striving to do. So
yeah, man, that's it's it's crazy, like, coming out of a dark place, right? So I could say that I've came out of a dark place. You know what I'm saying? I remember when I came out of a dark place as well, just like you talking about, like, man, sometimes what you think your plans aren't the plans that's for you. And learning how to be able to accept that. I think that's the hardest part for people. How did you accept your calling? You know what I'm saying? Like, because even through my and we always still learning, right? We still going through, we still feel like we fall, you know what I mean? Fall from grace, but we always are in that pleasant presence. How did you just stay up on it? And did you have people around you that were encouraging you on your spiritual path? How did that work out for you?
Right. That's a great question. And, when I was first coming into it, I had I was feeling so it changed me with inside. So I felt a lot of joy and yeah, I had new feelings of joy. But I did have concerns because I felt like because I was changing, like I didn't know how my relationship with the people around me would be, especially friends. And my family's going to be here. I have a good relationship with my family, but I wasn't sure how friends would accept me. I'm going through changes. I'm not the same person I was previously. But I wasn't going back, it's like I almost didn't even remember how I was before that. So, one thing I see is that some people are going to fall off, it's all like a snake shed skin, some people are going to fall off. Some people are going to, fall away. They were there for a certain period of your life. And some people are going to stay with you and continue to grow with you, even when you become a new person. So, my initial concerns with that, I realized I just have to be at peace. And who's going to be here is going to be here. New people are going to come because when you vibrate differently, new people are going to manifest in your life. So, just be at peace with that and just accept that, okay, this is a plan bigger than me. I started seeing certain things. It was actually the time when 9/11, that Twin Towers went down. And it was around that time. And a couple of weeks before that, I was getting like signs and I was getting led to research saying something like this was going to happen. So when that happened, I was like, man, this is a confirmation. Like, I was just reading about all this stuff and this war that's going to break off and this, certain things. And
it happened.
It just happened. I'm like, man, this is real. This is real stuff.
Hey, you know what's crazy is that, and what I think about what your path, what you just said was dope, is that you have family that supported you on your path. You know what I'm saying? Because I know for me on my path, and a lot of people that I meet, the family is the hardest part to actually. That's the part. You know what I'm saying? Because I could deal with friends and I can deal with losing friends and dealing stuff like that. The hardest thing for me is when I started changing, it was hard for my family to accept it because I started eating different. I started wearing crystals and different things, and I started meditating, and I was starting to do things that they didn't think was Christ-like to them, right? But that is Christ-like. Taking the time, basically returning back to the form in which we came, but they're so used to thinking that we're supposed to be like how we see with our eyes that it was hard for them to accept me at that time. And at that time, I was like rebellious towards my family. I'd be like, yo, I don't want to be around them because I don't want to turn back to something else. So, that's a real good thing that you got a family like that. Where's the support system at? Who's your support system?
Right. And it's interesting you said that they said it wasn't Christ-like because, as you see, I'm wearing the breastplate right here, and you have the stones on there. This is what the high priest, in the ancient, because we've been using stones for a long time. The Most High laid it out. Okay, you're gonna have this stone and this stone and this stone. So they have it, but a lot of in Christianity doesn't exactly go by what Christ taught and what the Bible taught. So, so you're going to get pulled away and sucked away in that way. But yeah, my family, I would say all have various spiritual paths and voyages they take. My brothers, sisters, mother, father, they all have their various thoughts and we don't all agree on everything.
Right.
But I definitely do have a good relationship with them. And even the things that we don't agree on, I've had lots of debates over the years, my beliefs and their beliefs. And, we've definitely had some of that, but it's always been out of love. It's always been like, okay, at the end of the day, like me and my sister, particularly me and her, she has her belief system, her spiritual thing. I have mine. And we've definitely gone like that it was like 10 years straight. but at the end of the day, like we weren't like, okay, well, I don't like you because of that.
Right.
Saying like, okay, we got to respect each other at the end of the day. And,
Yeah.
still love family at the end. So I understand, I do feel blessed for that I do have a family like that. And I know it could, like you said, it could be difficult because you don't want to be estranged from your family. But there is a part in the Bible that says, we have to love God before everything. Like Christ says, put them, put me before even father, mother, sister, brother. So at the end of the day, we have to follow who we are and be who we are. And if people don't accept that, then unfortunately, we still have to maintain being ourselves.
Yeah, because the thing about it is that no matter what's going to happen, you're going to change. And so you have to be, like you said, you have to really be stern to your God and be real with what it is that you're receiving from the universe, because ultimately it's not going to be received by everybody else. Like I say, I remember even when I was going through the path, what I'm saying, I was when I really got the universe straight blown away to me, I was in a marriage, right? And it was very hard after I got my mind blown like that to go back to the person that I was, right? And so I started changing. I started eating different. I started reading things different, started doing different things. And ultimately, in a sense, it kind of furthered us apart because we were on two different things in life. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't that she's a bad person. I think she's, we're still good and we great. We co-parent and do all those things. It's like what you said. Once you start vibrating different, it's not that they're not vibrating. They're vibrating in their purpose as well. But you have to vibrate to your purpose. And if you guys aren't learning that stuff together, then you actually vibrate apart. You know what I'm saying? And so I just wanted to say, just commend you on that, because if you able to, how you've been able to do the things that you've been able to do with keeping the relationships and doing your thing, man, I want to just tell you thank you for that and give you a salute for that. Right. Also, I wanted to just talk a little bit more about the business. So when did you start the company with the books, and what really made you go ahead and say, this is what I'm gonna do for people and I'm gonna help them with this?
Right. Okay. So it started in 2016 or 2015 was when I first started looking into doing this. I was working at a transitional house at the time. I was doing counseling. I was working with incarcerated men that were in the last couple of years of the sentence. And I loved the job, man. Like there's a lot of great men in there. I loved doing what I was doing, but unfortunately it was very low paying. And I did have a family to support and feed. And so I almost didn't take the job. I almost didn't go to that interview, but I was like, when I got there, I just felt the energy and I was like, man, I want to be here. So I was like, I got to do something. If I want to stay here, I got to do something for some extra income. And so it was at that time where I started being like, I start books as an option. And I put my first book was called Genesis, Let There Be Light, which was a breakdown of the first 2 chapters of Genesis. After that, I created a book which was called the Bible, the official Israelite Nation Bible, where I give a lot of our legacy and our heritage and rituals and various things. And so that was the book that really started picking up and making sales. So I started putting that book out, and I started going in like Facebook groups and doing different things and marketing and promoting, and sales would go from 200 to 400 to 800 to getting to 1,000. I'm like, man, this is books. You could actually make money on books. So is at that time where I was really, it was a combination, because it's the purpose, it's my passion. I'm putting out information that I'm really want to put out, but then also you want to make the money too, because we all have bills.
Yeah.
So, so that extra income was helping me stay at that job. So I was working the job, and I had some downtime at the job, so I'm able to put books together. So, so that's how it all began. It began because I was working a low-paying job. I needed to make ends meet. And I had information that I wanted to put out. So I put it all together, and boom, that's how BlackStone Publishing formed. I didn't know that years down the road, I'd be able to quit the full time, and do, I'd be making triple, quadruple what I made at my full-time job. And so, that wasn't the plan. Like, that was God's plan, but my plan was just to make a little extra income. I didn't know how far it would go and the success I would have with it. But yeah, it all began with just trying to make a little extra income and put out some information.
Ain't that crazy how you not trying to do something or you don't know, you just align with purpose the way that you just align with that. And then tell people, because man, when I met you, I remember when you was telling me, you was like, man, you done scaled this thing up to like a 6-figure business where you doing this business. So tell people about how you able to do that, because it's a lot of business people who watch this show, and what we're trying to do is also build an ecosystem for people. So let's
Right.
just say if somebody's able to be like, hey, like me and you have been able to connect on it and be like, hey, if somebody comes in and they use the code spiritual advisory, they get 10% off, and we're trying to build an ecosystem. Tell people, about like what it took to get it.
Okay. So, I always say, people talk a lot about investing, and, I would like to know, maybe I'll know more about other kinds of investing. But I always say the first thing you should invest in is yourself and your business. If you have a business, you're an entrepreneur, you have to invest. So the game changer was really when I started putting money towards marketing, advertising. If you look at any business, it could be McDonald's, they have commercials on. Everybody knows what it is. It's not like they have to put these commercials for people to know what the business is, but you'll still see Coca-Cola commercials, McDonald's commercials. I hate to say those companies, but I'm just
right. But they doing business.
Right.
Yeah.
They're doing business and they're putting how much? Millions and millions, maybe billions of dollars into advertising, marketing campaigns. So even companies, like I once had an author I was working with, she's like, oh, this book is going to sell itself. I'm like, no. Books, you'll get word of mouth out and some people buy it, but nothing sells itself.
Nah.
We sell it. It could be the music industry, the movie industry. They're putting money into advertising, marketing, and putting it out there. So
no matter how good it is, if it's even better, we're gonna put more money into it.
That's it, because they believe in it. So that was really the game changer. When I put money into advertising and marketing and investing in what I'm doing, that's when I saw income. My income started to go up. So I might have paid thousands and thousands every month for advertising, but that's getting increased triple fold. Once I get it back, so really I feel like that's definitely, and not being shy with what you got. If you have a book or whatever, you could be music, tell people what you do. Don't tell people, like if you're working at a job that you really aren't even that into, don't be like, oh yeah, I'm a cashier. Like, no. If you have a book out, that's first. If you have a music out, that's first. So don't be telling people, oh yeah, I'm a cashier. That's what I do. No. I have a book. I published a book. I wrote a book. This is what I have. If you talk to a stranger in a grocery store, tell them. If you talk to a random person, tell them. Tell people what you got and what you're doing, because you don't know who you're talking to. You don't know how it can be increased by what they're talking to. Whether they want it or they're not, it doesn't matter. Just put the word out. So get the word out there. And that's the biggest thing. Let people know what you're doing and be proud of it. I do have one story. I wrote that Ninja Cop book that you saw.
Mm-hmm.
When I first published it, when I first wrote it, I had 2 or 3 coworkers that bought it. And then they didn't really give me any feedback on it. I was like, I guess they didn't really like it. So I just actually had it shelved for a couple of years.
Wow.
Because I was like, oh, well, I like it, but I didn't, just because 3 people didn't say anything to me about it, I shelved it for years. And then it was when a few other people picked it up and they're like, man, this is really good. It was years later. And then I was like, really? So then I started believing in my own work again. And so, that could happen. Like we could just shelve things and not even believe in it, or we could just say, listen, I believe in what I'm doing. Even if a couple of people don't necessarily like it, it doesn't matter. Believe in what you're doing and keep putting it out.
Man, that's a real testament to everything that you're talking about. Like, I think we definitely get down on ourselves about the stuff that we're doing. And like you said, it's 3 people that didn't say nothing to you, but it's billions of people in the world.
Right.
And so, what I'm saying, we get so caught up in worrying about what those people who that we see all the time think, that we don't acknowledge what we have.
Right. We maximize the minimum instead of minimizing the maximum.
No doubt.
People, 2 people can say something and it ruins your day. Whereas, so it's like we maximize the minimum. There's only a few people might say this, might do this, but we'll be blow it up in our heads and create a whole catastrophe out of it.
Man, no doubt about it, brother. Hey, give me a second. Let's do this. Let's go on a commercial break and I'll be right back. Okay.
All right, for sure.
All right, cool.
So why don't you tell us the story about how you found these shoes?
As I walk across the Sedona Mountains in Arizona, with my mind dejected from past brands who tell us to just do it for whatever reason, I keep hearing this voice telling me, don't follow them, create your own you. There's no place like own. And out of nowhere, this beautiful goddess shows up. I represent the 9 gods of love, wisdom, energy, perseverance, innovation, light, knowledge, abundance, and wealth. Why are you here? I'm here to give you the knowledge of the 9 gods, so obtain it in your heart. Don't be like the guys that came before you. Offer discounts, cruelty-free vegan leather shoes. So how am I supposed to obtain all this knowledge? Don't worry, Jamel. The knowledge will be with you.
Bam!
Instantly, I felt a bolt of electricity going through my body. And the I Am 9 gods were born. I felt the energy. Remember, create your own you. There's no place like own. Share the knowledge. Share it. So that's just what I did.
It's not about what I have on my feet, it's about what I have inside my head.
We heard you, kid. So we work with a company to put that power in every fabric of the shoe. When you put these shoes on, you'll feel the energy flow through your feet. They'll carry you through new heights that you never dreamed about. They'll help you get through barriers that you never knew were holding you back. They will open up doors you never knew existed. Don't believe me? I guarantee it. You wear these shoes for the next 6 months, they'll drastically change your life for the better. If not, I'll buy them back from you. Yeah, I'll buy them back from you. So what's the delay? Go and get these damn shoes today. 9 gods, your own you.
It's not about what I have on my feet, it's about what I have inside my head.
All right, y'all, welcome back. We are back live. And man, so what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go into our question of the night, which is purpose. And so let me play this little video real quick, our little purpose video real quick. So our question of the night is purpose. And so I always, making sure that we always like give the listeners something to be able to go off of, right? And something that they could be able to drive and keep moving forward. Like you said, you set your books up on the shelf for years, and then all of a sudden you start doing something, and then you start aligning with purpose. Tell me and tell them what purpose is to you and how you define it and how they can, even ultimately start getting into their own purpose.
All right. And I love this topic. And I love that, we're speaking on purpose. I see purpose as the healing of the nation. Purpose is so much healing because we have to live on purpose. And, to me, purpose is we all have gifts. We all have different abilities. Some people might be good with their hands. Some people might be good at teaching and speaking or, thinking mathematically or, everybody has different gifts. And we're here also to serve. Our purpose should always be something to benefit. As I mentioned, I used to work at a transitional house, and I used to talk a lot about purpose because a lot of people get so caught up in just trying to make money that they lose track of their purpose, and so if we're doing something just for money, and even if you're making a whole lot of it, if you're not aligned with your purpose and using your gifts and helping people, because I had people that were just sitting there, they might be selling crack, and so if you're doing something that's actually destroying your community or destroying people, that's not your purpose. Our purpose isn't here to do something that's going to bring people down. Our purpose is here to do something that's going to bring people up. So we might have the ability to be in sales or talk to people. We could have certain gifts, but those gifts need to be utilized in a way that's going to uplift people and help people. So, so I see purpose is taking an inventory of ourselves. What is our gifts? What are we good at? What are our passions? Because that's important as well. The things that we're passionate about is the thing that we're going to thrive at, because we're passionate about that. There's a purpose for that. So taking an inventory of our gifts, knowing what we're passionate about, and not only that, it makes it more enjoyable. It's better to do something that you're passionate about and make 50,000 a year than something you hate and dread and you're making 200,000 a year.
Man, say that again. I mean, you know what? I'm gonna tell you, that is a hard thing. Recognizing your gifts versus your purpose.
Mm.
And I think that's a subject me and you should talk on one day. You know what I'm saying? Because you're right. You know, I got a lot of gifts. I could do a lot of things. I could do this. I could do this. But my purpose is one that, you know, it's totally different from all those things, but it connects all those things.
Yeah.
And I think that's a hard. I'm gonna say this is definitely a thin line between purpose and gifts, and sometimes we are acting our gifts instead of acting in purpose.
Yeah. And the purpose definitely is that calling. You know, I feel like we have the calling. Sometimes we have to cleanse our inner filters because some people might not hear that calling. Sometimes we might be vibrating low, and you know, it could be foods that we're eating or music that we're listening to, or a lot of things that are just weighing on us and taking us down. And we don't really have we have too many filters on that we're not actually hearing the signal, you know. And so really when we're cleansing ourselves and cleansing in mind, body, and spirit, we can be more attuned with what the Most High gives us as a purpose to do. And as I said, there's a lot of things. It could be food that's greasy and weighing us down and clogging our pores. It could be music that's putting all this, just craziness in our minds. It could be people around us that are throwing us off and being negative, and you know, we have it could be crabs in a barrel trying to hold us down. It could be a lot of stuff that's just keeping us from hearing the signal of what we're supposed to be doing in our purpose. And really, once we start working on cleansing ourselves, mind, body, and spirit, and recognizing what we're supposed to do, then it's going to happen naturally. Our purpose comes easier than anything else. But a lot of times we move away from our purpose, and so we actually live a harder life and struggle more because we're not living on purpose.
Man, say that again, brother. You just dropped some jewels that I think that I know most definitely is gonna be most helpful for a lot of people to be able to continue to go in their purpose, because man, we got a lot of that going on. It's definitely a lot of people not going in their purpose. And what you said that was a real jewel is that we make our life a lot harder than it has to actually be.
That's it.
And I and that's just going off an experience. I know we both can be able to say that's definitely an experience that we both had to be able to experience, and still sometimes even do get caught up in the flesh and be like, and start going towards a way that's not of what purpose is. So I just want to tell you again, thank you for being able to be here. Man, I know you got plenty of things to be able to do, and I'm just glad that this was one of the things that you want to do. And I say this to people, meeting you was one of the best things that ever happened. I met this brother on a spiritual retreat. We went to a retreat. It was a raw vegan retreat. And so, man, as soon as we got together, we just instantly connected, like boom, like, hey, it was nothing after that. Me and his brother kept talking, and I'm thankful. I don't know how much to say. I'm thankful for the relationship, and I'm glad that you were able to come on, and I appreciate you, man, for real.
Yeah, for sure. And this is my pleasure's mine as well. You know, like I said, as soon as we connected, it was just that instant, like we could build. We got definitely have purpose with each other, and that's a big part. Like knowing not only our purpose with each other and connecting the dots. And so, I knew we had a purpose with each other, and I'm glad that we're taking those steps and doing things just as we speak, doing this podcast, doing what we've got to do and creating our purpose with each other. I do want to make one plug since I'm a publisher. We have a book coming out. It's called The Power of Choice.
Oh, yeah.
So I just want to plug because, as I said, Publishing, we put our people up.
Hey, baby, I got your website down now. You see your website?
There it is. It is. So all the books that we see, go on that website and you can check things like this. So this book is, again, talking about purpose, the power of choice, because we have that choice to do what we want to do in life. He's talking about where he came from, and he wasn't told that, but now he went through learning how to make choices to create his best life. So True Kepra, The Power of Choice, that's one of our latest publications coming out. And yeah, we have a lot of authors we're working out. We just came out with a illustrated biblical stories for children that look like us. A lot of people looking for that, because they try to make them look like they come from Europe. But we know the Bible was written in Africa, so that doesn't even make no sense. So we have the children's stories where we could teach our children, and the images look like us. That was written by Melody Shakia. So that's on the website, and we're putting a lot of stuff out here for the people.
Hey man, I'm super excited. Like I said, man, you guys, and also make sure if you guys go to the website and make sure you guys go get some book. You can use the code Spiritual Advisory, and you guys can get 10% off on those books, man. You know what I'm saying? Like we definitely connected in, and I just want to tell you again, brother, I appreciate your time, man. It's always a blessing and an honor to be able to be with you. Is there anything else that you want to be able to say to the people?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is continue to tune in, because Jarmel got some putting jewels on a weekly basis. We got to support each other. We really don't do that enough, supporting each other, being consistent. We got to be consistent with one another. If you know someone that sells soaps or food or different things, support that person. Don't just go to Walmart and places like that. Watch shows, watch our people, watch all this kind of things that we're putting out here. So, I'll just say, be consistent in our support for each other. It's important, because otherwise, big companies like Walmart, they're going to profit, but we're not helping each other. We have to continue to support each other, help each other. Every dollar we spend, be conscious of what you're doing with it, and, help each other, and know who we are as a people, and hold ourselves high. We're not here to be struggling. We're here to be a rich and noble people. We have a rich heritage, and let's continue to thrive together and live on purpose and be the best that we can.
Man, most definitely. I couldn't have said it no better. And with that being said, we're going to end another week of Just a Thought. I appreciate you being able to be on. And we definitely will be back next week. Like you said, let's build this ecosystem amongst each other and continue to stay consistent with each other. Always being able to support each other's businesses. We definitely, inside of the Facebook group, we're going to be starting to being able to start showing it that we're going to be doing an ecosystem. And so if you're a business and you want to be able to join the ecosystem, giving everybody in the ecosystem 10% off of whatever your services is, we can definitely start being able to bring it in and start being able to make money with each other and also educate each other about it. So I'm going to leave some of your classes and stuff too. I want to get some information more about your classes and all that stuff, so we can put that stuff in there too. So okay. Yeah, for sure. So that concludes us another week, as we do all the time. We play a music video, and we get ready to play this music video, and wake up call. Make sure you go get it, single in stores right now. You know what I'm saying? It's the boy Jarmel Reese. Peace and blessings and peace. It's the boy Jarmel Reese. See y'all soon. They say in the time when the people will need them, a prophet will come. Believe in yourself and you season the moment, your blessings will come. No, you can't play me, hitter. Why? Cause I'm not like these hitters. And you can't call my hitters who trained these hitters, who raised these hitters. I'm him. Boy, I'm a god, I'm a king, and my son is about to become the same thing. My daughters, they mind is on point and they melanin dripping, they goddesses and queens. I can care less if you're feeling me. I'ma tell you right now what it's finna be. Sound like less you and a lot of me. Something on your chest, G, dog, you better let it be. This a different league, whole different pedigree. I was in the kitchen cooking up the recipe. Meditated and it came back patiently. Looked around and then stuff started happening. Why? Cause you can't play me, hitter. Why? Cause I'm not like these hitters. You can't call me hitter, who trained these hitters, who raised these hitters. I'm him. Blessed from the womb. Yes, I was blessed from the womb. Like a cocoon. I fast for days and the beauty's consumed. My soul was lost. And I didn't know the cost. To sell my soul, no sell my soul. It is worth more than those diamonds and gold. Check me out now. Please believe this gon' get airplay. Please believe you're gon' see me one day. Take my style, come back, then you go away. Turn around and give it back to me anyway. Why? Cause you can't play me, hitter. Why? Cause I'm not like these hitters. And you can't call me hitter. Who trained these hitters? Who raised these hitters? I'm him. Blessings on me. Nothing but blessings on me. Blessings on her, she. Bless what she see. Bless what she hear, what she see. Blessings on we. Bless what we speak. Bless what we hear, what we speak. Blessings on we. Blessings on me. Nothing but blessings on me. Check me out now. Please believe this gon' get airplay. Please believe you're gon' see me one day. Take my style, come back, then you go away. Turn around and give it back to me anyway. Why? Cause you can't play me, hitter. Why? Cause I'm not like these hitters. And you can't call me hitter. Who trained these hitters? Who raised these hitters? I'm him. Blessings on me. Nothing but blessings on me. Blessings on her, she. Bless what she see. Bless what she hear, what she see. Blessings on we. Bless what we speak. Bless what we hear, what we speak. Blessings on we. Blessings on me. Nothing but blessings on me. Check me out now. Blessings. Nothing but blessings. Blessings. Nothing but blessings.